In March of 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev becomes the new General Secretary of the Communist Party in the Soviet Union. During Gorbachev's time in power, President Reagan tries to push the Soviet economy to its breaking point. His plan pays off when he increases U.S. defense spending, and the Soviets try to keep up, but their economy collapsed. In 1985, Gorbachev establishes his plan for perestroika in an effort to restructure the Soviet society. His plan took steps toward creating a democratic government. Gorbachev realized that having better relations with the U.S. would provide a reduction in military spending and a reformed economy. Due to this, he started a series of meetings that led to the signing of the INF Treaty on December 8, 1987. It eliminated two classes of weapons in Europe and allowed on-site inspections of military bases.
In 1987, President Reagan gave a speech at the Berlin Wall urging Gorbachev to back up his reforms. 2 years later, East Germans opened the wall and allowed free passage to reunite Germany.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
In December 1991, 14 non-Russian republics declared their independence and broke off from the Soviet Union. After being pushed aside by Russian reformers, Gorbachev resigns, and shortly after, the Soviet Union dissolves. The Commonwealth of Independent States, also known as the CIS, took over in February 1992. President George H. Bush and the new Russian President Boris Yeltsin declare an end of the Cold War.
Even before the Soviet Union began to be more open to democracy, China started to take in some democratic ideals, like giving more control to businesses and even remove some price controls on products. But the people wanted more. In 1989, students in China began to protest for freedom of speech and a bigger voice in government. The students demanded freedom similar to the US and even built a model of the Statue of Liberty. Unfortunately, China's military was ordered to stop the protesters. The military killed many unarmed students in Tiananmen Square and ended the pro-democracy movement in China. Afterwards, democratic nations put economic sanctions and arms embargoes on China because of the use of military force on protesters.
In 1979, 52 Americans were taken hostage for 444 days in Lebanon. It started November 4th when a group of Islamist students and Iranian revolutionists took over the American embassy in Tehran. President Carter called the hostages victims of terrorism and anarchy. In April 24, 1980, the Operation Eagle Claw, which attempted a rescue of the hostages, failed.
In the 1980s, the U.S. promised never to negotiate with terrorists. This was broken during Reagan's presidency. In 1983, Iran had American hostages in Lebanon. Reagan has been trying to get them out for years. The hostages were finally released when Reagan promised to sell arms to Iran for the freedom of the hostages. And the entire U.S. was shocked that their greatest president would do such a thing.
August 2nd, 1990, Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein invades and annexes Kuwait as a province of Iraq. Kuwait contained a valuable supply of oil fields much needed for the Iraqi war effort. President Bush believed the Iraqis would make a push into the oil fields of Saudi Arabia. On August 6, Bush implements Operation Desert Shield, in which over 200,000 American soldiers are put into the defense of Saudi Arabia. On February 24, 1991, Operation Desert Storm begins. In only 4 days of fighting, Saddam's army is virtually destroyed. In a last-ditch retreat, Saddam orders his men to set fire to the Kuwaiti oil fields. Over 500 oil wells are destroyed, as well as a total casualty rate of only 147 U.S. soldiers killed.